welcome to the Primetime 585 podcast. Your girl is in the house. I'm Karen Iglesia, co-founder of Primetime 585. Shout out to our producers, Julio in the house, and Sean is in the back making sure we sound good, Gerard. And of course, the luckiest man in Section 5, blessed and highly favored to be married to me.
I'm going to give you credit this week, only because that dinner you cooked the other night was slamming. So you got one more good day out of me.
Okay, I got one more. Okay.
Yeah, but although I'm not sure if that seasoning had cyanide in it.
You don't know. You're still here. You're still here. I am protecting my investments over here. I did 31 years. I did a whole bid. Gerard, let's go right into Unified Bowling. I like this event. Listen, there's no way you could go to Unified and not smile.
Oh, yeah. I've always said, they say Disney is the happiest place on earth. Mm-hmm. I say any Unified event, because everybody's just having a good time all the time. Every time we go, it's just smiles everywhere.
Smiles, but I want to shout out to the partners. So talk about how Unified works, right? So there's a partner, Gerard, with each athlete. Talk about how, because you've done Special Olympics, you love doing, when you were a teacher, you did Special Olympics. Talk about how Unified works.
Yeah, well, as you just saw there's a wheelchair, and he has a partner who helps him set up the ramp,
right,
where he can bowl from. So, and the other athletes, the other Unified athletes also have partners who student volunteers.
I love it. And then last week, so we checked, and there's a lot of Unified bowling to call a culminating event. Shout that out. We went to the Fairview Lanes one that had Fairport, Thomas, Webster Schrader, Pittsford, and Rush Henrietta. But there's different divisions. There's actually a lot of Unified sports in Section 5, right, Gerard? So on the South and West Division, you have Kendall, Perry, Pavilion, Leroy, Bath, Wayland, Cohocton. And on the Finger Lakes Division, Gerard, which is at Roseland Bowl, who's there, the Finger Lakes Division?
The Finger Lakes Division, that's
Newark,
Marcus Whitman, Bloomfield, Red Jacket, and North Rose Walcott.
And then at the West Division, they had Batavia, Gates, Brockport, Churchville, Charlotte, Greece, Hilton, and Spencerport. And the RCSD division.
Yeah, you have Edison, World of Inquiry, Wilson, Franklin, Monroe, and East.
I love Unified. They keep it in perspective.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried to interview a Unified athlete?
Oh.
They keep it $100.
And they all think they're the best bowler.
As they should.
Yeah.
As they should. So I just want to say, first of all, thank you, Unified, for inviting us into the Unified world. I love it. Every time I go there, I smile, because all athletes are athletes, and all athletes deserve to feel love and to be recognized. So shout out to Section 5 Unified and the culminating event that went down last week. So Gerard, let's go right into Mid-Lakes versus Spencerport, the crossover game. This is your game over here. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, this is to see who represents Rochester, Section 5, right? And it's the B1 champ against the B2 champion, okay? B1 was Spencerport. They were ranked number 1 in the state, taking on Mid-Lakes. And both teams were outstanding.
Both teams got a lot of good hitters, right? Mid-Lakes, first of all, shout out to, this went 5. I'm going to set this up for y'all. And we're going to talk about more about this later. But Mid-Lakes was actually down 0-2. Yeah. At the end of the first set, my guy Aiden Bryant got hurt. I don't know if he broke his nose. His nose could not stop bleeding. So they were over there feverishly trying to stop the bleeding of his nose.
Right.
And they couldn't stop it. So you know what they did? And you'll see it in the video from the beginning to the end. They wrapped his entire face in gauze. Like, it looks like a headband, and you'll see it later on,
a headband
right?
Across his nose.
Across his nose, because they couldn't stop the bleeding. He was basically saying, just get me back in there, right, Gerard? And they got him back in there. And even when he was in, they were down even in the third set when they first started.
Yeah.
They won the next 3 sets against Spencerport, who was number 1 in the state. So we're going to talk more about this thing, but Coach Salisbury, was emotional afterwards because they made history, and they rallied. They were resilient. Aiden Bryan had 27 kills, 4 aces, and 10 digs. Braxton Wilkes, Gerard had, 55 assists? 55 assists.
55 assists is crazy.
Talk about the rest of those stats. Jake Decker.
Jake Decker, he had 9 kills. Jesse Bennett with 9 kills. Declan Reed, 8 kills and 2 blocks. You know, they spread it around. Then the libero, Caden
Gulam.
Okay, he had 24 digs. One of his best performances of the year.
They wanted this. They fought for this.
Yeah.
They were fun to watch. We're going to talk about Mid Lakes later, but congratulations, Mid Lakes moved on for the first time in school history. They move on to the state tournament this weekend, which is going to be held right here in the 585. Now let's go into Fairport. We're going to stay into volleyball. Fairport versus Penfield went down. Ooh. I want to set this up. Let me set this up, Gerard. So Penfield got beaten twice by Fairport during the regular season. Right. First one, I think, went 5. I know it went 5. The second one, I'm not sure. I think it went 4. But these two teams are two of the best volleyball teams in Section 5.
In the state.
Right.
Yeah.
You're right. Let me read.
I think Fairport was number 1 in the state.
They were.
And Penfield was number 3 at one point. Yeah.
Yep. So, and Fairport was undefeated coming in. And I know George's watching the video, but Fairport was undefeated coming in. But Penfield is the reigning state champs, right? So I want to make sure we set that up so people understand the battle for Section 5 AA. So first set went even extra. It was 28-26 the first set. Noah Maybon had
Fairport.
For Fairport, yeah. Noah Maybon had 28 kills in all 5 sets, right? Yeah. He's different.
Yeah.
Talk about him just for a little bit.
Well, he's a USC commit. He was on Team USA. I think he was playing 18U as a 15-year-old.
Yep. That's how good he is. And he's from a family of athletes. Yeah. The whole family are a bunch of studs and studettes.
His sister just scored 35 points for Cornell last week. Yeah.
But they won the first. But it's hard to beat a team 3 times.
You've been saying that.
I've been saying that over and over and over. Jake McCarthy. Let's talk about Jake McCarthy and what. So let me first say, I'm a volleyball person. People know I played volleyball all 4 years of high school. Volleyball is my sport. Basketball and football is your sport, but volleyball is something that I know. The middle is there really for blocking.
Right.
So Jake McCarthy is a basketball player.
6'8".
That's playing volleyball. So let's first say that, right? Jake McCarthy, when he first started the season, his footwork, you could see it in his head because volleyball is all about timing, right? Your setter got to know when to set, and you got to have a lot of footwork in volleyball. Jake McCarthy, in the first couple of games, and we saw him, you could see him counting to see when to step back, when to do his approach. During this game, he was ready.
Yeah, he was. Because this is only his first year playing.
He was outstanding. He had 17 kills. For a middle blocker to have 17 kills, it's crazy.
Yeah,
I personally think that he should have made all tournament. That's just my opinion. And this is my show, so I can have my opinion on the show.
Yeah.
I can't have no opinion in Section 5 sports, but this is our show.
I mean, everybody was deserving.
No.
Yeah, I mean, because when you read the rest of the stats.
Yeah, everybody was deserving.
He had a huge impact on the game.
He was so good. But he also prevented, what people don't understand with a person like him, you only see the 17 kills. And you might only see 1 or 2 blocks. But the people are thinking about hitting over him.
Right. Yeah. He changed Noah Maybon's game.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because Noah, on most people, he's hitting it over them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He was dinking a lot, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, Zach Scully, however, who made all tournament, let me tell you, 50 assists is crazy work.
Yeah. That's a lot.
Crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
in 4 games, yeah.
50 assists is crazy. Owen Gutman, 16 kills, but he's hurt.
Yeah.
Doing that.
Courageous performance by him. He's a power hitter, but he didn't have the power because of his injury. But
he's smart too.
He's smart. He was placing the ball so well. Little dinks and just hitting them where they ain't.
Yep. And Elijah Johnson, the MVP, had 12 kills, but his kills were all kills. Like he meant them.
Yeah.
Like he meant to hurt somebody with them.
Yeah.
Stellar throughout the entire tournament play, but Elijah was the MVP. Shout out Fairport, although they came in undefeated. I know they were disappointed, but it's really hard to beat a team 3 times.
Yeah.
But to me, the most impressive player was Jake McCarthy.
Yeah.
But all the sets were good sets, right? Set 2 was 25-21. 25-19. Set 3 was 25-21. Set 4 was 25-22. They're back-to-back champs heading now to the state tournament. So shout out to Penfield. Unbelievable. Yeah. Penfield had a great weekend this weekend. We talk about that more. Yeah. They won 2 sectional championships in two of the main fall sports. So shout out to that. But what an amazing game and performance by both teams. But Penfield were crowned back to back. But they have good players like Gabe Rivera. So we want to make sure he had a huge play in that fourth set to make it 23-24, a huge kill, which changed it, because if he didn't have that, it would have been 24-23. The other way. So that was huge. Made a big difference instead of them going into 5 sets. So I want to shout out Gabe Rivera also. Okay, we got to go. Let's do some football. We got to go into the football crossover. East versus Brighton. We talked about this last time on our show, right? East versus Brighton. We were conflicted about who was going to win this game. Brighton came out on top 24-14, Gerard. Now, Brighton had an interesting regular season. I call it interesting because they battled injuries. Yeah. Snowden went out. They had like 3 main starters with some injuries.
Yeah, they started out like 4-0, and then they lost 2 or 3 in a row
because they had injuries. Yeah, and so that's why I said they had an interesting. And they're in a class, Gerard, where like a bunch of teams are 5-2 going into sectionals.
That was Rondecoy, Schrader, and
So that's the class that they're in. Now Brighton, to get where they were, Gerard, who did they beat? So to get where they were, they beat a Rondecoy,
the Churchville Chilai, who had a nice year too, and Schrader. I think so Rondecoy was undefeated. Yep. And Churchville and Schrader, I believe, were 5-2. Yeah.
So it wasn't an easy road for these guys to get there. So when you have a Matthew Heininger, right, and a Snowden, who to me are pure athletic studs in Section 5. They both are like grown men out here playing little boy games, right? Right. When you have that, you could always, and you have a coach like Coach Lynn, who to me is one of the most brilliant coaches in Section 5. He knows how to adjust. He knows how to keep his guys motivated, his coaching staff and team. One of the best sidelines I've been in Section 5. The best.
Yeah, they also have other really, really good players.
Talk about it.
Leo Hopkins.
Oh, gosh. Justin Medina.
Yeah.
I mean, what a good transfer for him.
Yeah. He went
came
back home to his...
Yep.
Yeah, Zach Rosignol. Yeah.
Oh, real quick, Gerard, before we go past Justin Medina, his daddy was a good football player, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know his grandfather. His daddy was a great football player.
Yeah, so David Medina over at East High School.
Over at East High School, so let's not get it twisted. David Medina, he come from good stock, okay? Yeah. Zach Rosignol,
Patrick Rohr. You know, and like you said, the coaching staff is just outstanding.
They're stellar. They're stellar. But talk about Justin Medina. He had 17 carries, 91 yards, 5 tackles. Zach Rosignol, 30 carries, 138 yards, also a touchdown. But when you have a Matthew Heininger, you could bet on at least 6 to 7 tackles, right? He had 6 tackles, 2 of them for a loss.
Leo Hopkins, he had 2 tackles. He had a 70-yard pick 6 interception TD. Patrick Rohr, 2 tackles and 2 interceptions. 2 interceptions is a lot.
In the game,
Amari Snowden, 6 tackles. And Patrick
Newcomer,
he had 3 for 3 on the point after touchdowns.
So congratulations to Coach Lynn and the Bruins. Fantastic win, because East is very good, but East is young. East is a very young team, so let's not get it twisted. They are very, very young.
Yeah, we'll see them again.
Oh, gosh. Year. Oh, absolutely. All right, let's go on to Pittsburgh versus Penfield. This is the stunner. This is a stunner of a game. So let's go. I'm going to go directly to the fourth quarter. But you see, I was keeping warm in the car. I'm going to keep it $100 on here. Your girl was cold.
I was in the rain.
I'm not even going to, listen.
Pouring rain.
I'm giving you full credit. I am not even going to lie. Your girl was in the car. You see my hair? Do you see culturally I am not supposed to be getting wet in the rain? Y'all see this makeup? It wasn't happening, right? So you know what I did? I sat in the car while my husband of 31 years go and cover the game and get wet. So he gonna talk about the game. I got there in the fourth quarter. I was warm in the car. It was so warm. I had the music on and everything. Go ahead, Gerard.
Yeah, and then I'm out there in the rain, in the cold. Nobody says a peep. and you come in after being in the car. Prime time.
I know.
That's some. I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah, you're out there, and then you're all wet, everything, and then I walk in the whole student section going crazy. Oh my God, Prime Time is here. Gerard's like, I've been here though. What is going? I've been here.
That's messed up, man.
So let's talk about this game, because you were out there in the rain. Talk about it.
Yeah, Pittsburgh was leading 10-0. They looked like they was in control of the game. They're up 10-0 going into the fourth. They're feeling real good. Then the fourth quarter came, and let's see, Dominic Junta, he's the quarterback. He was also the MVP. It was his birthday. What a birthday he had.
What?
Sectional championship, his birthday, MVP.
All that.
Yeah. He started the scoring drive with the touchdown run of his own. Then Pittsburgh had to punt. Jake Maurer.
Yep.
Yeah, he had to block. He blocked the punt. They got the ball in great field position. AJ Theodore Kakis.
Yep.
I'm going to call him AJ from now on.
Yeah, please.
Okay?
Don't mess up that boy name.
He scored on a 4-yard rushing touchdown. Pittsburgh kicks the ball off. It takes a funny bounce. I'm sorry, Penfield kicked it, took a funny bounce. Pittsburgh couldn't field it. And Evan Layton, he picked it up. So Penfield has the ball again. Shortly later, Brody Joyce scored a touchdown.
In 5 minutes.
21 points in less than 5 minutes.
Brody Joyce, by the way, is a superstar lacrosse player.
Yeah. And so stats.
AJ, right, had 1 rushing touchdown, 13 tackles. He a grown man.
Yeah.
He a grown man among boys. Man, you ever see this boy's a grown man? 3 for a loss and 1 forced fumble. He was good on both sides.
Yeah.
Whenever they needed just a 1 yard, whatever, he gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
He was so stellar, right? Brody Joyce, 11 carries, 56 yards, 1 touchdown, and he was offensive player of the game. Dom Jumto, 10 carries, 94 yards, a touchdown, MVP. But Gerard, I want to say this more than anything else. Jake Moore had 2 catches for 25 yards and an interception.
And the block punt.
He's also a stellar. These guys are. I want to talk about Penfield real quick as a whole. These are not football players. Yeah. These are other athletes. Zane is not in these stats because Zane got hurt. You know, Zane's my favorite player in Section 5, right? And I feel bad for Zane because, real talk, Zane was leading the charge for player of the year. And then he got hurt in the first quarter. And I feel bad for him but he was still cheering on the sidelines. I love his spirit. I love his energy. But all of these guys are like wrestlers and lacrosse players. Yeah. They're not. This is not their main sport.
Right.
And to come out of a field in AA with those good teams and be a sectional champion, that's a big deal. See, I'm wearing my Penfield colors today. But congratulations.
Yeah, I want to say a shout out to the lines. Okay, games won in the trenches, right?
Yep.
The offensive line. They've gone through 3 running backs. Well, AJ was supposed to be the starting running back, but he was injured, so he didn't run the ball. They turned the ball over to Zane Kropman, and that guy had a great year, a fantastic year. But then he got hurt in the first quarter.
And Brody Joyce, he's next man up.
Yeah, next man up. So I mean, all 3 guys can really run the ball, but you can't do it without an offensive line. So
shout out to the line.
Guys. And the D line, gotta shout them out too, because twice in that game, Pittsburgh had first and goal from the 1, and both times they stopped him. Once AJ stopped him on 4th down, and the other time, late in the game with about 4 minutes left, Brody Joyce got an interception in the end zone.
So shout out to the line. Okay, we got to give the credit to the line. Let's go to
just one more thing. Just to wrap up the all tournaments. Jackson Warden, he took no prisoners. Okay, he was the outstanding lineman, and Deshaun Preston. Yeah, he was outstanding defensive
He's also
player.
a stud. He's a really good. Next year, he's going to be a problem in Section 5. Yeah. Okay, Alexander Pembroke versus Letchworth, Warsaw, Perry. So when you have all these combined teams, you already know we are way down in classes, right? So let's talk about this Alexander Pembroke game real quick. Ryder White Reichert rushed for 161 yards and a touchdown. He was also MVP. They were down 7-0. Alexander Pembroke overcame that deficit. Sean Petrowski scored a touchdown In the first quarter and added 4 tackles, Pierce Dinkins scored a rushing touchdown to give the defenders, that's their name, 12-7 lead. And they never looked back after that, right? The offensive player of the game, Brody Heckman, helped to extend that lead. Jacob Johnson led the defense with 5 tackles. Justin Brooks with an interception. Alexander Pembroke, first year they're combined. So before this, Alexander won sectional, I think 2018. Pembroke was 3 consecutive sectional championship, right?
Right.
And they put 2 stud teams together.
Yeah.
They're going to be a problem for years and years and years to come. So this is their first sectional win as a combined team. They will face Section 6's Chautauqua Lake Westfield at All High in Buffalo. Congratulations to Alexander Pembroke.
Yeah, I just want to mention that Record,
yeah, the MVP.
Yeah, he was MVP for that game.
Yep. So let's talk about Monroe HFL. Okay, we ain't got to spend a lot of time on this because Monroe is just crazy.
Yeah.
They're crazy. They're crazy. We're going to be talking about them next week because we know they're going to be going to states, right? Yeah. They won their second sectional championship in 3 years, right? They jumped out to a 28-0 lead at the half. The 9-0 Monroe has talent. They got their depth. They won 40-0 over HFL. In 3 years, Coach Cunningham, in 3 years, have gone 27-4. Only lost 4 games in 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
One was in the state semifinals.
Yeah.
And the other 3 were last year.
So Terrell Cunningham Jr. was 9 for 12, 120 yards passing, 6 rushes, 50 yards, 1 rushing touchdown, and also was named MVP. He's one of the best quarterbacks in Section 5 and in the state. He could do the thing about the problem with him. He could do it both ways. He could run and he could throw.
Yeah.
He's dangerous on both ways.
Yeah, in the first quarter, he was running the ball a lot.
But you might scout him as he gonna be throwing and he running on you. And you might scout him that he gonna be running and you don't know with him. And also their line is crazy. This team has at least 6 or 7 Division I players, one of which is Messiah Hampton. But they are one of the most talented teams at any class. Well coached with Coach Terrell Cunningham, Coach Greg Hopkins, Mohammed's on the sideline. You know, he might not be the coach, he might be the principal, but let's not get it twisted. He is a football guy. Coach Mohammed.
Yeah, he was a football coach for years over at Marshall.
And he set his team up for that. So congratulations on that. Jermaine Montgomery had 4 rushes, 49 yards and a touchdown. Jovan Bennett added 9 tackles in the fumble recovery. Chris Franklin with 13 tackles. And real quick, Messiah Hampton had 11 tackles, but 3 catches, 31 yards, 4 rushes for 47 yards, and also a touchdown.
Yeah, he plays D. I mean, we always talk about his offensive prowess, but he can. Did you mention Ray Garcia?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
9 rushes, 135 yards.
Yeah, he's ridiculous.
2 rushing touchdowns. Yeah, 3 catches, 32 yards, and he was the offensive MVP.
Shout out to Monroe. They will be playing at states, regionals this next upcoming weekend. Gerard, we did some collegiate signing. I like this. We added this to our thing.
Oh, I want to also say that HFL's offensive lineman of the game, HFL August Youngstrom.
Yep. Talented. Yeah, big guy.
Yeah.
He's very, very good. So let's go into the collegiate signing. So we did a bunch of a little bit different, right? So let's talk about this real quick. We got a few minutes. So Gerard, collegiate signing, Brighton, Aquinas, HFL, Mercy, and Penfield. We checked out some collegiate signing. Let's talk about Mercy. Mercy signed 7 athletes going Division I, 3 of which was crew.
Yeah.
One of which was Miss Kaylee Moss, Miss Swimmer of the Year, kind of Kaylee Moss, who never really played crew, but for 1 year and got a Division I scholarship to play crew.
Yeah, at Michigan State.
Yeah.
That's big time. Yeah.
She is 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah.
Also Heidi Duran, Grace Pepe, Christina, I can't say her last name. I can't say her name. She's going to Richmond. Mia Quagrello, Arizona State. Angela Gershner, St. Bonaventure, and Sidney Cook, Boston University.
Some really good academic schools.
Academic schools, yeah.
And athletic schools, yeah.
And then some gymnastics also from there. Karen Fennell is going to Florida State. Florida University,
Florida,
and Morgan Clements going to Boise State University. But Arondequoit Cooper Moore also signed. Shannon Seymour,
West Point.
Yes, Grace Buttiglier, Marin Jager, Revely Gerner, and Sam Thor also signed.
And Shannon Seymour, you said that?
Yes,
okay.
and HFL, Shea Angelo going to Duke, Anna DeClerc, Jenna Lawrence, Sarah Smith, Jacob McVeege, Chris Noda, one of the best wrestlers in Section 5, Natalie Gilbert, and then we have some Penfield girls and boys that also signed, including AJ Theodorakis, also going to Army West Point. So congratulations to all of the signees, and also Aquinas. We had Jake Gibson going to Canisius, and Jeff Logan, Central, Savannah Sweet, Roberts Wesley, and Caleb Wood going to Malloy. We just want to shout that out. Jordan, we got to go right into your pick. We're running out of time. We're running out of time. So go.
My pick is Aiden Bryant.
Shocking.
My boy came in and showed out. One of the best hitters in Section 5. He's only like 5'10", but plays like he's 6'8". He was hurt, like we said earlier. He came bandaged up, and this was like Paul Pierce getting out of a wheelchair and playing. He was amazing.
Oh, we said we spent a lot of time on Aiden, but Aiden Bryant, you could see him in there. He's all bandaged up, talking about resilience. Shout out to Aiden Bryant. You are Gerard's pick for this week, Aiden, for not only just your type of playing, but also your resilience. So I want to go to my pick, Gerard. My pick, I am going to let my pick speak for herself. So go ahead.
I'm a junior in high school, and this is how I plan on getting a scholarship to play wheelchair basketball. The reason I'm doing this is because I'm tired of expecting good things to happen to me when I'm not putting in the work. Let's put in the work and get what we want. Girl, life is lifing, okay? It's junior year. Classes are tough. Life is tough. I'm practicing every single day. I am tired, but I will never quit.
So as you can see, Radit Schumacher was my pick, Gerard. I know Gerard's watching the video. Yeah. So 16-year-old junior at Rush Henrietta and plays basketball, wheelchair basketball for Rochester Wheels, New York City, Rolling Fury. She also does track and field with the Rochester Rookies. When I saw this video, I had to make her my pick. She was so impressive as a human. Just what she was saying and her resilience. She was my Karen's pick. So shout out to Radit Schumacher. You are Karen's pick for our podcast. Now we got to go to round Section 5. We got 1 minute exactly, Gerard. Let's talk about round Section 5.
Okay, we got regionals this week in football. You have Friday, Avon's going to be playing at 5 and Brighton at 8. And Saturday, you got Pembroke Alexander at 12, 3 o'clock is Monroe, and 6 o'clock is Penfield. Winners goes to the Final Four. And Saturday and Sunday, you got Penfield's at Roberts Wesleyans for states, and Midlakes is at FLCC. Check the website, section5.com.
And also, real quick, shout out to all the people that has adopted, all these teams in Section 5 that adopted families, that are helping us doing delivery. Our goal is to feed 5,000 people utilizing sports as a tool. But in ending, Gerard, it is next week, we are going to be more than anything concentrating on states. All our state. Hopefully we got some people beating. We have 5 teams going into regionals this week. We're hoping that we get all 5 coming out. Okay, so shout out to all our collegiate signing, and that is it for us. Shout out to our best producer in the 5, Julio. And that's it from Primetime 585.
Get the Rochester First streaming app today for everything you love from News 8 On Demand, plus exclusive shows you won't see anywhere else. Search ROC and download for free on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV.